to another podcast, Travel the Darkroom. It's now becoming more familiar to say. So yeah, this podcast was going to be talking about hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hobbies and sort of making your once hobby into said business, and sort of losing the passion and the drive and the sort of creativity behind it.
Yeah.
And not seeing it as something you love.
Yeah.
And what you can do to get out of that funk, that mojo sort of down the lumps.
Yeah. Do you want to start us off, Chris?
Well, considering I'm the one that's doing kind of crazy things, so recently, after basically just waking up one morning, deciding to see how much getting a helicopter license and what I need to do to get said helicopter license, and sort of just jumped right in and...
Can't believe it.
I mean,
it's
almost the exact same price. For 10 lessons, it's only like £300.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an hour a lesson.
Yeah.
So if you think back when you're doing your driving license, those block sessions,
Yeah.
about 200, 300 quid. So I was like, yeah, why not? And sort of once, the only thing that sort of is the 9/6 exams that I have to take.
Yeah.
But the actual flying is you're up in the air flying. Like, I don't know how you can explain that,
So insane.
So, yeah.
So you wanted to learn to fly helicopters to start a new hobby?
Basically, it's a very expensive hobby.
Yeah, literally. Like, what made you think to do that, though?
Well, I recently moved closer to my university, and it's closer to a main airport.
Right.
So I thought, after waking up and watching a bunch of videos, I was like, it can't be that hard and it looks fun. So let's have a look around. And I found basically a place to do your license. And you only need 45 hours to get a full license. And you only need to do 2 hours out of a year to keep it up to date.
Easy. So easy.
You can hire one out from this hangar that I'm busy attending, and that's only like 200 for an hour, and you can fly anywhere. So like once you've done your international law and most of your exams, you can just hop over to France.
Oh, so you can like go different countries.
Yeah, you go to different countries. You can hire out helicopters in different countries. You can just yeah.
Is it like a big company then?
Well, it is an actual company where once you've passed everything, you have a license.
God.
Like that's it. You can fly, and then you can do I'm learning in a Robinson R22. So it's a 2-seater, very small. But the company also do a Robinson R44, and that's a 4-seater.
Oh.
But that is basically the same controls, same exact everything, and I just need to do an hour, and then I can fly the much larger helicopter.
Okay.
Then I can just take around my friends to different places.
When you get your license,
is
it like a driving license?
I actually don't know.
Because imagine rocking up like to a pub or something, and they're like, "Oh, can I see your ID?" And you just whack out a helicopter.
I mean, I actually don't know.
That's insane. Like, I can't.
Does it go into your driving license?
Oh yeah, like on the back.
Yeah, like a little helicopter.
Oh my god, that's insane. I would never think to do that though. It's one of those things I'd think like it's proper like
hard or just out there that you can't do it.
Yeah, like you have to be a certain someone to be able to go get a helicopter license.
Well, I was reading because in America they have to go do like it's called trying to rack my brain. It's like you have to do like a yearly thing where you just have to know your emergency sort of precautions and everything. And the guy that was doing the presentation, I was watching it, he's like, I know all of you in here are either surgeons, doctors, or you're just type A personality people, because there's no sane mind that will just wake up one morning and just go, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to fly.
It's insane. It's actually insane.
So yeah, no, that's a big hobby.
So have you done that because you don't find photography much of a main hobby anymore?
I find it still as a hobby, but because I mentioned this a little bit in either like the reintroducing of this podcast, is that I'm taking more of a business attitude towards it. And I know some of my friends at university came in sort of doing university as like a portraiture or doing something like that. And as we're going into our third year, I've noticed they're not loving it anymore.
Yeah.
So it's not got to that point, but I can see people not liking it, not enjoying it, because they know that it's no longer their hobby.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, well, before that happens, I need to find something else that's kind of insane.
Insane.
Yeah, but I'm also like doing these podcasts. It's still doing something that is creative. So there's a little less insane side of me than there's the insane side of it. So
that's crazy. Actually crazy. See, when it comes to, for me, I went into photography, but that was never my main hobby. My main hobby was drawing and painting. So for me, I was like, I know I really love drawing and painting, but I kind of in the back of my mind knew if I did it, I was made to do it constantly 24/7, would I start to hate it? So I didn't risk it. So I went into photography because it's similar.
Yeah, no, it is a very similar medium.
Yeah. So, but when I went into photography, I really enjoyed it. But then by the time we'd gone through college, first year of uni, I started to dislike it more, which is why I changed to film. But then now that I do film, I'm starting to enjoy photography again. Because I'm not made to do it.
Yeah.
It's weird.
That's what I was like getting at, was like once it's once you don't see it as a hobby anymore, like you just lose the passion for it.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
It's like right now I love photography. I love that you can do one thing and be completely different the next thing that you do.
Yeah.
It's like I did working for a client, I was working in a studio, then the next minute I'm now shooting bands and everything like that. Like that's what I love. Like you're not like niched.
Yeah.
But then I began to think, was like, well, if I constantly do this, am I going to get sick and tired of it? Am I going to get sick and tired of band people not like some of them aren't really nice to.
No, I know.
Yeah, so am I going to get fed up with that? And I mean, like, my friend, like, doesn't like weddings anymore because he just shot wedding after wedding after wedding after wedding. And now he can't stand weddings.
Yeah.
And I believe that's every photographer that's ever done, like, started off without university or solo or just going through university, going to, like, the first thing that they can get their hands on sort of thing, have ended up hating it with a passion. I don't want to get to that stage. So I want to have that either creative outlet, the podcast, or writing in my journal every day, or doing the poetry, or doing something, and also deciding to fly a helicopter. Even when I say it, it doesn't sound like that's... Yeah.
I can't. Do you know what? I might just go get my helicopter license now. Now I know I can.
Yeah, I mean, it's only the 9 multiple choice exams.
It's insane. I was saying previously to Chris before the podcast, I was saying, imagine getting your helicopter's license and just showing up at uni in a helicopter. Like, hey guys.
I mean, we have plenty of parks. We have plenty of parks.
It would be crazy.
Yeah.
But also, like, with...
Oh, graduation!
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That is going to be
what's
so
up, peeps?
funny.
Just flying, pick up my gown, graduate, get back in my helicopter. fly off. Peace. See you later.
Just be off to Paris real quick.
Yeah.
Celebrating.
I mean, that's also another crazy thing is like you don't have to deal with customs. Customs comes to you.
Yeah.
Like you stay in your helicopter, they come to you.
That's very good.
They're now your.
Oh.
So you don't have to deal with that whole rigmarole. You literally, like, you say if I could be having lunch in Southampton, hop in a helicopter, fly over to France, have dinner in France. But what I could do is like you have to basically say that you're coming in, and you're basically foreign, so they tell you to wait at said airport, and they come to you, do the whole mandatory that you're not doing, you're not smuggling drugs, all that whole rigmarole. But then once that's done, you go through you go out of a different exit.
Yeah.
And you're in France somewhere, Germany or anywhere in Europe.
Do you know what though? This could also open more opportunities for you in the photography thing. Because if you get offered jobs, like a day job in a different country, it'd be a lot cheaper for you to get over there and probably quicker for you to get over there than having to go through the whole customs and whatever. But like, I don't know. To me, in my head, I'm just imagining it like a big drone. Do you know what I mean?
Pretty much it.
Like, I'm going to come sit in the passenger seat with my camera, like getting all the good shots.
It is pretty much big drone.
Big drone. Yeah, that's sick.
Like you just have to have the mindset of thinking in three-dimensional space. Like I was telling you before the podcast, like if you can think in three-dimensional space, it's easy. Like super, like you have up and down, your tilt, and then your rotation.
Yeah.
Like,
and for those of you watching, it's not like GTA flying a helicopter.
No.
I've asked this.
No. It's actually, funny enough, a lot of the video games, it's much easier than that.
What is? What, the actual flying is easier than the video games?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could not. I couldn't do it in GTA. I was in the water straight away.
Once you flip that mindset of, okay, I'm now controlling something not just vertically, like sideways, and also pitch.
Yeah.
And then once you have thought about that in three-dimensional space, it becomes a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because each pedal does its own thing.
Yeah.
Like you have the foot I can't remember all the technical names. They come to me every now and again. But the pedals for your feet basically control your sort of rotation. So if you feel like it basically controls your tail rotor. Right. So if you feel like you're swinging around to your left, you apply a little bit of right rudder.
Right, okay.
Go around. Then you have the cyclic, and that's basically what you're holding. And you can control that with like 3 fingers.
Yeah.
That kind of baffled me. And
so
it's
easy
just
to
tiny
crash.
movements, like tiny movements, not like great big jarring movements, like tiny little adjustments. And then you have the so that's the cyclic. Then you have like the throttle or I can't remember, but I mean I've only been in it like once. Okay. Don't judge. But you have like your up and down, and then you have like the governor that kind of controls your airspeed sort of thing. And I'm learning VFI, flying. So that's visual interface. So VIF. So visual interface flying. So basically, if you can't see shit, you don't fly.
Right.
Because it's not electronic. It's not like everything is manual. Like all the little icons, the buttons, the little dials and everything are all manual. There's no sort of GPS system. So there's no like artificial horizon.
Right.
So where it tells you that the horizon is supposed to be here if you've plumbed everything in right.
Yeah.
You actually have to physically see the horizon.
Okay.
So it's much easier to fly, but you just fly with certain weather conditions.
Right, so I have a question.
Go for it.
Can you get a speeding ticket in a helicopter? Like, is there a certain speed you can go?
Don't know.
That's a good question.
You can get a tailwind.
What's that?
You can get up to some good speed.
Yeah.
But I don't know if... I guess I need to scrub up on my...
knowledge, helicopter knowledge.
It's my first exam I have to pass is air law. So basically, if you go to a foreign country, should they speak in your language? This is sort of like that.
Yeah.
Then you have like reading meta reports.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically learning how to read a bunch of numbers and letters to understand wind speed, wind direction, visibility, if lots of other things. So yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
And I only need like 45 hours.
What if...
There's a lot of what ifs.
What if you're flying your helicopter, another helicopter's coming this way, do you fly on the left-hand side? What if you're in a different country?
That's the helicopter law.
Okay,
so I looked it up slightly. Is you're supposed to both turn right.
Okay.
So
is that the same in
right.
every country? Because you know how we drive on the left side of the road, but in other countries they drive on the right. So imagine you go into a different country's airspace, whatever you want to call it. What if they do it the other way around? Interesting questions.
I actually don't know.
Yeah, tough.
Huh. Yeah. Like I know, like I've only been up once, so I know how to fly in a straight line and turn and watch somebody else take off and land.
Yeah.
And what's the chatter on the radio is like the most interesting thing. It's all like it's like they speak a different language.
Yeah. It's all like code.
Yeah, and it's like blowing 21 gales at this whatever this and knots at this, and I'm like, wait, what?
Confusing.
And like, luckily I know the military. I don't actually know what it's actually called. The NATO Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Foxtrot, Delta, whatever.
Yeah.
All that. So as long as you know your tail number, you're pretty good.
Okay.
And sort of, you get the right information from the airport like the airport control tower. But then you also have the aerodromes, and then you have control towers where I live, we have an airport. Not where I'm living currently. That is an unmanned airport. It's manned, but you don't have to listen to it.
Yeah.
So, because you're supposed to take off in wind in a helicopter, because it makes it easier. So, if it's coming from behind you and the hangar's behind you, what you do is you go to the middle of the airport, you turn around, and you just go.
So you go against the wind?
Yeah, you go against.
Okay.
So, but at like if you're flying into London City or airports, Gatwick or anything like big, you have to follow what they say.
Yeah.
Because
there's big planes coming at you then.
Yeah.
Danger.
So, and I believe I have to take a different exam to fly in London.
Okay.
Because the traffic is a lot more busier with helicopters, with planes, with the flight paths are a lot more complicated.
Yeah.
But it's only like a couple of hours in helicopter and then I pass. The actual, because you have theory and then you have practical. The practical, I have to fly. I have the instructor, but he has nothing to, basically he doesn't do anything. So it's sort of like doing
like
a car
driving test.
Driving test.
Yeah.
So I have to take off. So I have to talk to the radio control tower. I have to get the right information, what altitude I'm currently at, plumb that in, and then if I'm bearing left or right or wherever the holding pattern is, so and do that, then basically fly to 5 different airports, land, and then take off and go to the next one. Land and take off and go to the next one. So that's pretty much how you get graded on the practical.
That's crazy.
Because you have to talk to the airport as you're coming in, and then also talk to the airport when you're coming out.
Yeah. God.
Yeah.
It's insane. It actually blows my mind. Because I saw you posted like a story or something, and I was like, what is he doing there? Like, so confused.
Yeah, it's literally you drive. you're driving the back. You drive into the back end of the entrance.
Yeah.
And you think you're going to be shot. Like, well, no. In the sense, like, you see barbed wire, you see, you feel that you shouldn't be
gates,
here.
Yeah.
And it's like part of the airport that you know that you don't ever see.
Yeah.
And you sort of wonder if you've got the right postcode.
Oh my goodness.
And then as you see, like, the hangars, I'm like, this is kind of insane.
Yeah. Were you scared when you first got in it? They, like, talk you through it a lot before you get...
Like, I was like, oh, I want to... Like, I can't wait.
Oh my God.
I really can't wait.
It's insane. It's actually crazy.
And then also, like, I'm rock climbing and stuff like that, so there's lots of different outlets that I'm trying to be...
I'm just thinking, what are we going to name this podcast? Did you know it's this easy to fly a helicopter?
I mean, I don't know what it's like in other countries.
No.
So...
Yeah, I wonder if it's different.
So I didn't know that I can do a night raid, so I basically learned to fly at night time.
Okay. Do you have, like, headlights? How does that work? How do you
Basically.
see where you're going?
Yeah. That I have to... Well, you can only do that once you've passed your actual exams and everything like that. You can then spend an extra money on flying at night time. So,
if you learn to fly a helicopter, do you know... Is it then quite easy to learn to fly a plane?
I don't know.
So it must be similar,
Planes don't excite me.
No.
Because planes, you have to like go to airport.
Yeah.
Where helicopter, you can take off from an airport, but then you can land within reason. Anywhere. Like you can just plonk up on the side of a mountain, just camp out.
It's crazy.
And then get back in it the next day and just fly back.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Instead of glamping, helicopter camping. Or heli-camping.
Heli-camping. Let's make that a hashtag.
So, yeah. That's it.
Crazy.
That is the one crazy thing that I'm doing.
Yeah.
So.
One.
I mean, the craziest thing.
It's insane. God, I haven't got anything on that, I'm not going to lie. What's my hobbies? It's not helicopter flying.
I mean, you still keep up with your art.
Yeah.
I mean, your art's pretty insane.
Thank you.
Like, I did faces and sort of portraiture, but I could never do it like realistic.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know how I learnt, to be honest, because if you see my drawings from the beginning of people, they are awful, like really bad. It was when I was in school and I had my art lessons. I don't know how I learnt, but I just learnt there. They had us they'd give us like pictures of eyes and just noses, and we'd just copy it. And I think because we had so much time in lessons, we would always be going over the same thing. And then because you're spending so long on it, you're adding more and more detail. And I think like you just pick it up. I don't know though.
That's why I couldn't do art. That exactly.
See, I quite enjoy it.
The same repetitive thing.
Yeah.
I did art for many years.
Yeah.
And towards the end of it, like I could not, for the life of me, sit there and draw another shell.
Oh
like,
no, shells! Yeah.
Even if I attempt to draw another shell, I'll just get angry.
Yeah,
like,
shells, flowers,
yeah, flowers,
skulls.
Oh, and this is how you paint with watercolor.
Oh yeah, watercolors. They liked the watercolors. Mm-hmm. We used like acrylics
if you
once.
Use wax. This happened.
No, I enjoyed art in school, but I didn't do it in college like you did it. So. Yeah,
no, I did it at school. It's the only thing that I passed an A in.
Yeah.
And then took a year out. Then went to my sixth form.
Mm-hmm.
Did fashion, art, and graphics. Mm-hmm. Failed everything.
No way.
Turned 18, booked one-way ticket to Europe, and kind of just peace, see you later.
Same.
And then kind of didn't stop travelling until I was 21.
You live a crazy life. You know that.
I mean...
Go travelling, go get my helicopter license.
It's kind of slowed down recently because I think the last trip I was in Israel for sort of Hanukkah and
Yeah.
back my first year. So,
Didn't you do a project with some of that stuff at college? No.
No, I didn't do it. I that was when I did 3 months in Portugal, 3 months in. That was while I was in college.
Yeah.
Like between my first year of doing the extended diploma,
Mm-hmm.
and then in between that summer break, I took 3 months off and sort of worked on a farm. Then I went to Spain for a month, and then I went to France for a month. Then I got absolutely sort of questioned by the UK border patrol, and sort of, why are you in Central Europe? Why are you coming back?
No way.
What are you doing? And I was like,
Up to no good.
I'm a UK citizen. I live there and I go to school there, so of course I'm going to be coming back.
Yeah.
So,
Crazy.
and then I did Africa before that.
Yeah. Were you born in South Africa?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when did you move?
When I was 5.
5. Okay.
So I think that's also another thing with hobbies. Like traveling for me is a massive hobby.
Massive. Yeah. I get that.
Like I said, it's slowed down in the recent years because I've been focusing on college, uni, and I travelled to Israel back my first year of uni. But this year I'm going to Dubai. I'm going to New York.
Lovely stuff.
I'm planning on, don't know, going to Iceland.
Oh, I really want to go to Iceland.
But what I'm going to be doing in Iceland is just hiring a vehicle and camping in said vehicle.
That's cool.
And just going around Iceland.
That's very cool.
So, yeah, a lot more exciting things.
Yeah. Yeah, I love travelling. It's just so expensive though, isn't it? That's the thing.
I mean, I got my tickets to go to New York for like £249 there and back.
How did you manage that?
There's a site called, if you type in, not sponsored.
This is not an ad.
just clearing that fact. I don't know if it works abroad, but it works for UK if you're a UK citizen or live in the UK. If you type in Google STA travel, they do everything from student like discounts, and they also they catch last couple seating. When a plane is going to be just about booked, they will give this company a couple of these seats.
Okay.
To try to get rid of.
Yeah.
So that's how I picked up. You can you can go to Bali for £400.
This is ridiculous. I'm getting straight on that as soon as this uni is over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
That's why my hairball brain scheme, I can travel the world for under, one of the schemes was under two grand.
The whole world?
So basically one of them
Where's
you go from London, you go to India, then you go to Japan, then you go to Perth, then you go to Sydney, fly out of Sydney, go to Los Angeles, and then you make your own way. Basically, you just make your own way to New York, and then you fly out of New York to Dublin, and then Dublin to back to.
So you're kind of touching on all the continents there, apart from Africa. Did you say Africa?
Yeah, no, I would say There is one that there's different schemes you get. That's the lowest one. Where there's some that go for £5,000, and you can literally go everywhere.
That's insane. Yeah. I'd love that. I might do that now. Now that you've said that, you're gonna have to tell me where I can find these cheap flights.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
A big hobby of mine.
Yeah.
Is travelling. And you got stuck in Amsterdam.
I did. Yeah, that happened. My flight got cancelled on the way back. We were at the airport. From the time we left where we were staying to the time we left the airport, we were there for 6 hours. And it was we were sat at the gate, ready to go. Everything was fine. And then this whole other flight came to our gate. So they were boarding before us. So we were sat down like, what is going on? These people are all queuing up. And then next thing we know, that flight's been cancelled. So we were sat there like, uh-oh, not again. Don't do this to us. And then our flight got cancelled. And it turns out loads of flights were being cancelled. So they were like, you can go to this desk to rebook your flight and sort your accommodation out. And we got there, and the line, no jokes, longest line I've ever seen in my life. We didn't even bother standing in it. Like, we sat outside trying to sort out online for ages, and the line hadn't moved in that whole time.
Did you have travel insurance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We got the flights rebooked for free. Accommodation, they offered us 1 night accommodation, but we couldn't catch a flight for another 2 days. So we were like, that's not good. Luckily, we had friends over there, so we stayed with them. But, I mean, we haven't heard anything. I think my friend sent off the insurance stuff, but I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, no, I've never flown without insurance.
No, we nearly did. It was a last-minute thing.
I've broken many bones.
Yeah, oh.
Touch wood. Touch wood. I've never broken a bone while travelling. Well, I know I did.
You did? Where was that?
I was in Africa, and we went to Sun City. It's like a massive sort of fun fair / monkeys on the wall. You think of the Jungle Book, and you think of where King Louis. Similar to like you have that sort of buildings and that sort of structure, everything like that. But there's also like water park.
Okay.
Now, have you ever been in a wave simulator?
Yeah.
Now, I didn't realise it brings you up and then just drops you.
Yeah.
So I landed on the bottom of the ground, solely on the 2 bottoms of my feet.
Oh.
Caned.
Which bone did you break?
I think I never got it checked out, but I felt like if you know me, like I can handle pain pretty good.
Yeah.
I almost wanted to throw up.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, I can't be stuck in a cast because then I can't get home. So, actually, we are. What's the time? I know what that is.
What is it? That beacon?
It's for you to get
my car.
Your car. So we're actually gonna stop there real rapidly.
Maybe we can do another one and continue our travel stories.
Yeah, that's why I kind of titled it "Travel to the Darkroom."
Yeah, there we go. That works.
See, now the whole full circle of life.
There we go. I was wondering what that buzzing was.
Yeah.
How do I stop it?
No, we don't want you to get fined. No. So, quick recap is that if you're feeling like you're getting lost in your, like, pushing what used to be your hobby into your career,
go get a helicopter license.
Don't have to think that so drastically, but if you try to find another outlet to just vent your sort of stuff, doesn't have to be helicopter flying, because I rock climb, I journal, I write every day, I meditate every day, I wake up at 5 a.m. every day. Sort of, I do stuff that sort of I want to do. Yeah. And sort of, it's my new thing, but then now it also revitalizes my passion for photography.
Exactly.
So that's sort of the recap.
Lovely stuff. I gotta sort my car out. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.